Recording.
All right, so I am heading out of Bergamo today towards Modena, where tomorrow I will go to the Pagani factory. That's just a little unrelated to the motorcycle portraits experience, but I've just loved these cars for so long, and I think it's going to be cool to check it out, see how they're built on the line and all of that. Although it is like $80 Canadian for a tour. But, you know, when in Modena, maybe I'll go by the Ferrari factory for the umpteenth time in Maranello as well. And then it's on to Pesaro to photograph Giuseppe Andreani in a couple of days. And after that, maybe I'll just hang out in Pesaro for a day or two. Well, I have to anyway. And then maybe I'll hang out on the beach. Just chill. And then I take the ferry to Greece to go to the Aurora factory where they make the rally towers. And they're going to be installing a rally tower on my bike, which is pretty cool. And that's it. Yesterday with Agostini was nice. He gave me a t-shirt. I wanted to ask him for an intro to Valentino Rossi, but that just didn't feel right, so I didn't do it. Anyway, that's it. Signing off.
In 1 point.
So I'm getting very close to Maranello, and I was just taking a photo of this sign that said Fiorano and Maranello, which, if you know, that's the Ferrari factory. And then this guy in a Ferrari just comes and does a big U-turn. Oh, and I was taking off. There he goes. I guess he'd be test driving it. What is that? Another one? Oh, it's a Maserati. No big deal. This is the area where you'll see Ferraris and Maseratis and Paganis and Lamborghinis. Maybe I'll just slam into the back of the Ferrari. Nah, just kidding. Did I lose him? Or did he lose me? Yes, I think he lost me. Oh well, what are you gonna do? I first came to the Ferrari factory in 1989. It was
at the roundabout,
kind of a pilgrimage for me. And there was a Michele Alboreto car on a flatbed with a Stefan Johansson's car on a flatbed. And this was at the beginning of autofocus cameras.
Follow the road for about 1.5 kilometers.
And I would hold the camera at my waist and just try to take pictures of whatever I could take pictures of. And then when I would go into these little body shops and stuff, I would ask to take pictures and they would say, no, I'm sorry, it's not possible, it's not possible. But they did let me walk around and wander, look at the stuff. And I saw a Gilles Villeneuve Formula One car kind of in the corner. And if I knew how to steal the steering wheel, I would have grabbed it 100%. But I didn't know how at the time.
In 900 meters, turn right.
But it was a big moment in sort of forming my way of just trying to go places. Because I'd set my mind to going there, and I had to take a bus and a train, a bunch of different things
meters, turn
to
right
show up. And I showed up at the
Stradella.
factory, and this was again 1989, and it was, I don't know, it seemed very like foggy and cold. Nobody was around. This was way before Schumacher, and it was just like a small little factory. And you could hear the
turn right,
the cars racing on Fiorano practice track. And then I saw all these F40s on the back of a flatbed. And I remember thinking that
Follow the road for about 4 kilometers.
these cars are meant to be driven. There was just flatbeds full of them, 2 levels. And I imagined that Enzo Ferrari wanted people to drive his cars. So it always seems a shame when people don't. If they're just garage beauties. It says we're about 3 minutes.
Continue on via Modenese for 1.5 kilometers.
I feel like I can see it. Like I can see it in front of my eyes. And I booked a cool Airbnb for tonight. That looks really kind of quaint and pretty, this little country house. So I'm stoked for that. I think so we are very close. Very, very close. Holy fuck, this road is shit.
Turn right onto Via dell'Industria, then your destination will be on the left.
Voila. Right there. Is it open?
Your destination is on the left.
Fucking guy. Where will I park? All right, so look at this beautiful view. I got an Airbnb for tonight, and it's kind of on this barn down here, the home food. Maybe she makes dinner. That'll be good. Look at this. Wah wah wee wah. This is quite an entry. This is just a little bit outside of Maranello. Up in the hills, although it looks like I'm coming down the hill. This is spectacular. But I hate to have to shovel this driveway.
You have arrived.
I have arrived. Where do I park my motorcycle?
Recording.
So I just had a lovely lunch just outside of Modena with this guy Massimo, who I met yesterday. I randomly stopped at this restaurant. I was kind of dying from the heat and I was tired. And I met these 4 or 5 guys. They were eating together. And they ended up buying me lunch, which was so nice. A couple of them rode motorcycles, so we talked a bit. Anyway, then last night I got an email from one of them, Max, who said that one of his kids wanted to be a documentary photographer, filmmaker, and they had seen my work and they really liked it, and they wanted to invite me for dinner, and just hang out and talk and stuff. And I was really flattered, and I said sure. I was available tonight, but he was not available tonight, so we agreed to meet for lunch. And we ended up just going back to the same place that I saw them at yesterday, because I could keep an eye on the motorcycle. He had originally suggested a place in Modena, which I would have been totally down with, but I couldn't keep an eye on the bike. So anyway, we went back to the exact same place where all the nice ladies were very nice to me. And I met his wife and his 2 kids. And sadly, Massimo doesn't actually speak English very well, so he was kind of the odd man out. I felt really bad. But his wife was awesome, and her English was the best out of everybody. And we just had lunch and talked about photography and life, and it was really wonderful. And they bought lunch again, which was awesome. And then I picked up some really thick balsamic vinaigrette, which I think is great for salads, which I had yesterday. Anyway, and now I'm on the highway to Pesaro, where Andreani is, and tomorrow I'll photograph Giuseppe Andreani, which I've been wanting to do for a little bit. And I think I'm just going to stay in a campsite for the next 2 days before I head out to Greece, because I want to save some money. And that's basically it. So whoa, everybody just ran over a tire. That's scary. Anyway, so I'm just beelining it on the highway. I've been off the highway for quite a bit, and it's a 2-hour ride. It's only an hour and 45 right now to the coast. It seemed a lot better than doing a 3 hours and change, because I'm a little tired anyway. Anyway, that's the update. And so I guess it's not totally the update, because now I'm going to tell you more. I went to the Pagani factory and got the factory tour, which was pretty great. I mean, it's great to see the cars and all the tech, similar to being at the Alpine Formula One factory with the carbon, although not quite as hermetically sealed. But the cars they're so beautiful. Sadly, though, the tour, the woman's English was fine, but she was very quiet, and she spoke into a microphone, and we all had earpieces, but the audio of the earpieces were awful, so it was very difficult to hear her. She didn't really tell me anything I didn't know from reading all the placards in the museum, but still it would have been nice to hear her a little bit better. But it was cool to see it, and if I had the money, I would, without question, buy a Pagani. That would be the number one car I would buy if I had the bread, way before a Ferrari. Although if I had the bread, I could easily have a Ferrari, so it's probably one of the most expensive exotic hypercars available. But it's just jewelry, but not tacky. And now that's it. Wait, that's not it. I put the little extender on the Insta360, so I'm shooting from a higher angle, so I think this will be above the windscreen. I probably should have done this a long time ago, but there's still a month and change to go. A little bit over a month to travel, and that's it. So I'm more than halfway done this trip, which is kind of crazy. I'm imagining it all being over already. Kind of running a little bit out of subjects. I have to find some more subjects. Feeling a little bit lean on them all of a sudden. I was shooting a ton for a bit, and it's kind of slowed down. Okay, that's it. That's all I got to say. I'm turning off the camera. Back to music. Okay, so a little update from San Marino, which is, I don't know, it's so beautiful here. I'm going to be here for 3 days before I go to Greece, so I found a really beautiful camp spot on a mountain overlooking the ocean, or the Adriatic, I guess. I don't know. Geography. What do I know? Anyway, came from Modena, went to the Pagani factory, had the tour there. That was pretty cool. and met some really nice people who wanted to learn more about my photography, and ended up having lunch with them. Their son wants to be a photographer, so hung out with them and took the long highway to San Marino, Pesaro, and that's where I'm at. And yeah, in 3 days I go to Greece. Okay, so I'm in Pesaro, and I'm coming to the Andreani factory where I'm going to photograph Giuseppe Andreani. And I happen to have their shocks, their springs in the front of my bike right now, the front inserts.
Your destination is on the left.
So it's kind of cool to come to the factory and meet the guy who started it all. How do I get in? I guess I gotta hit the button. Very cool little factory they got going here. When you come to the Andreani factory and the guys do some work on your springs. Mille grazie. So in front of me is Giuseppe Andreani, who could not have been nicer. Told some great stories, and now he's taking me to Misano, to the racetrack where the Italian Superbike Championship is happening, if I don't get killed following him. And not only that, he's taking me to the top of the mountain to look down over Valentino Rossi's ranch, which is pretty cool because it turns out Andreani does all the suspension for the VR46 team and the ranch and everything. And I don't know, maybe I'll end up meeting Rossi. Would be a surprise goal. And then we're going to go to the track and have lunch there, which is pretty cool. Oh, and he also put in a stiffer spring for me on the bike. And just for record, they put the bike had a 7, and he put a 8.0 spring on the right, which will essentially take it to 7.5. And he didn't charge me, and they swapped the spring in like 10 minutes. And he's going to give me the other 8 spring, so in case I'm still finding this a little soft, they can put the 8 in and bring it up to 8. And we're going to the town that Valentino Rossi is from. Unless he loses me, which seems very possible. I feel a lot of pressure to keep up with this guy. And he's a dirt bike Grand Prix champion, so that's ridiculous. Anything for free lunch, though. It's funny, I had been trying to figure out where Rossi's ranch was, and I had no idea. And then I come here to Pesaro, and it's pretty much right here. I guess these are the roads that Valentino Rossi learned to ride on.
Recording.
So now we're in the town that Valentino Rossi's from, and you can see VR46 flags everywhere. I just got a look at the ranch from above. That's where he does all his practicing, and his junior team practices on flat tracks and dirt track to help with the balance and everything. Very cool. Giuseppe's showing me all around. And this is definitely a Valentino Rossi town. Very proud of their boy, as they should be. From Agostini to Rossi, Wayne Rainey, Kevin Schwantz. I mean, I haven't gotten Rossi yet, but maybe we will. This is the town, Tavulia, where Rossi's from. So now we're at the VR46 headquarters, I guess. This is Rossi's headquarters. I can't believe where this guy's taking me. This is the Rider Academy. Wow. I'm sure the fans want to come here all the time. This is where it's all stored. This is where all the fans come from all over the world, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so right now I'm at Misano with the Andreani people, and it's pretty awesome. Catching Italian Superbike. I don't know if you can hear it. Okay, good morning from Pesaro, Italy. I am just packing up the bike and I'm going to be heading to Ancona to take the ferry to Petras in Greece, where I'm going to meet the people from Aurora. They do amazing front ends for rally bikes, that kind of thing. And I had a great time here in Italy, or in the sort of the East Coast. Met with Giuseppe Andreani. He took me to the Misano racetrack, showed me Valentino Rossi's ranch. Had a great time, pretty awesome, and just chilled out a bit for the last couple of days at the beach. And now I got a big ferry ride. It's like 24, 28 hours, I don't know, something like that. And reminds me when I was 19, I'll just be sleeping on the deck, I think, except the bike will be safely stored somewhere. There's the bike, look at it. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Anyway, that's what's cooking now.